Good morning, viewers. Oh, I'm very excited. What a morning. It's Sunday morning, just after 5:30, and I've got a little bit of time before I go to church. I could have slept in, or I could get out on the bike and have a ride. But really, the choice wasn't that hard. Look at this day. Not a breath of wind, not a cloud in the sky. It's a little bit chilly, which is magnificent. Although it's going to heat up to about 30 degrees today, so that's not too bad. And not a car on the road. Oh, it's a spectacular part of the day. Why would you want to lay around in bed? During the week I put a tank pad on my bike. Trying to get them straight is interesting. I put one on thinking, oh, it looks great, and then I had a bit of a look, and I tell you, it was terrible. It was awful. So I tried it again, made sure everything was perfectly clean, got some degreaser, washed the tank, made sure it was beautiful, and now a couple of little edges are just sneaking up. Oh, wow. I wonder when I'm going to stop doing things to this bike. Got pretty new mirrors, pretty new levers, a couple of stickers, heated hand grips, a fender extender, a pretty gold chain. The only thing I haven't done, which most people do on their bikes, is put an aftermarket exhaust. That may come, I don't know. A friend of mine has found a pair of Yoshimura twin pipes in their shed that are almost brand new, but with a bit of adjusting of the front inlet pipe would fit this beautifully. So it may even have aftermarket pipes at some stage. The only thing I don't like about the aftermarket pipes is I do a lot of country riding, and my other Hornet had de-baffled pipes, and it had a real drone, like quite a drone to it, which could get a touch annoying at times. It's a little bit cold, I'm fogging up a bit, I hope you're not. Look at this morning, guys. Who else likes riding really early in the morning? Not many of my friends. They like to sleep in. Look at that big train. It's enormous. 5:30 on a Sunday morning, or 6 o'clock, and look what I hit. A massive train. Oh, could be here for hours. Oh, it's gone. Fabulous. That guy's looking at me wondering who I'm talking to. Wonder if anyone else gets that. Does anyone else get that? You're sitting there talking and you get a bit excited and you're talking loud and there's people standing around wondering what you're doing. I hope the angle of my camera's okay. This is a real experiment to see if it's in the right position. I think it's nice to see a little bit of your bike. But when you do that, you need to behave and make sure you're doing the right speed, don't you? Because you don't want you doing anything naughty on camera for the world to see. Well, yesterday I went out on a 200-kilometre ride and it was just fabulous fun with 4 of us. And this morning before church I'm out on my own. This, I find, doing this sort of stuff is the best way to practice your riding. And I did this a lot when I was getting back on the bike. I'd do this exact same thing, get up out very early on a Sunday or Saturday morning by myself and practice. The worst time to practice is if you go on a group ride and then you're trying to keep up with someone who has more advanced skills. And that's when a lot of accidents happen. And a couple of weeks ago I saw a guy around a very tight bend go off the road and scraped along the barrier. He was okay, he kept the bike up. And I looked behind and there was an L sign on his bike, so he was a learner. And he'd been trying to keep up with his mates. Really dangerous. Needs to get out and practice on your own. Oh, listen to that. That's a wood pigeon. Not only do you get kangaroos through here, but you get deer as well. And when I've been hiking through here, I've seen some quite dark coloured deer. Normally they're that light colour with a little, you know, pretty spots on them. There's a roo just there. Can you see it? A couple just there having a look at me. If I was a kangaroo, I wouldn't mind living here. It's beautiful. Oh, here we go. Roo in the middle of the road. Another big roo just here. It's not that big, but it's big enough. Right next to the kangaroo sign is a field of kangaroos. One with a joey. There's a big one right over there. And a very big one just there. the big male and his little girl and his girls. Oh, well, that was fun. Now guys, thank you for joining me on my Sunday morning ride. I hope you enjoyed it. Just something a bit different.